Remember the chicken with Bumblefoot? Well, her prognosis is in, and it's negative. Oh no, don't worry. She's probably not going to die, and she's doing really well with her foot. But as far as coming back in my garage, it's not happening. So let me show you what we've been doing trying to get this under control. Videos on how to treat Bumblefoot are a dime a dozen out there, so you guys can find that. But I did want to show you some of the things that we have been using that you can't normally have. Our dog had a bad callus thing on her foot that got infected maybe last year, and we had some of this Novasan solution, and we also had this cool stuff, Silvadane cream, and we were using those on that foot. Those are kind of a step up from what you might normally find, you know, triple antibiotic. I'm sure you have to get those at the vet, but we happen to have it left over. So I've been using those in place of like a, you know, say iodine or something disinfectant. This blue stuff is awesome. And then that stuff for the antibiotic has been working, I think, really well. I've also been giving her a little poultry cell and her scrambled eggs and corn that I was feeding her when I'd bring her in to help her kind of keep her leg in there and soak. And of course the vet wrap is here and the tape. And we're just making it in kind of strips, cutting it. This thicker stuff works a lot better for that. You can get it so it goes over each of her toes and then wraps around. So we have been doing that. As you guys know, we've been doing this forever. Kind of let it go for a while. The foot got a lot worse. As a last ditch effort, I found some really old Baytril left over from one of our dogs in the medicine cabinet that had been making her sick, and that's why the vet said stop giving it to her. So I found that Baytril is sometimes used to treat this. So I got the right dosage, gave it to her every day. I only had about 6 days worth, but I'll tell you what, that really kind of helped turn the corner with this. That foot, again, we got one kernel out probably a month ago, but it seems like it got worse again. We got a huge thing out of the bottom of her foot with all kinds of yuck, and it left a big crater in her foot. So we continued to kind of pack that cream in there and keep soaking and keep wrapping. By the way, you cannot get those antibiotics, it's my understanding, without going to a vet. I don't recommend using old antibiotics for people or for things. This is a chicken, so it was kind of a last ditch effort for her. We're not gonna be able to eat eggs from her. Obviously, it's kind of become almost experimental at this point. All right, here she is with her foot wrapped. You can see we're using vet wrap and kind of getting the toes wrapped around there. Now that we got that out of there, and it seemed to try to start scabbing up. About the last week, I have stopped soaking her foot and stopped putting any of the cream on it, trying to let that kind of scab up. But I have to keep it wrapped while she's outside because I don't want it to get all gross again. It's egg laying time. We got a lot of noise happening. So what I've been doing with her is about every other day, bringing her inside in the evening, taking the wrap off, and letting her hang out in the garage overnight so that I can kind of let that scab be a little out in the air and hopefully let it kind of dry up a bit. And there, my friends, is where the negative prognosis comes in. This is not going to work. No more. Okay, so of course, we have the poop issue. I was trying to bring her in later so that she would just kind of sit somewhere and sleep. But if I didn't get her right back out first thing in the morning, we of course get the poop issue again in the garage. But today was the final straw. I heard a crashing sound. I came down to the basement and found, much to my horror, a chicken on my canning shelves. You may remember a few months ago I had a video that had a cat on my canning shelves, and that was bad enough, but a chicken is not happening. And you see that empty space? She knocked off a jar of my canned chicken onto the floor and broke it all over. So needless to say, guys, those days are now over. From now on, if I want to keep bringing her in and taking the bandage off, which I will, I think that's best for her foot, she's going to go in that rabbit hutch that is in Steve's garage, and I'll put some cardboard and make it nice and flat for her, but no more in my garage. Sorry, I know some of you were pulling for that chicken to put a diaper on and be inside, but it is not happening. So I will catch you guys the next time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week.